Welcome boys and girls. In today's video we have a lot of prep work to do to the Squarebody to get it ready for this motor. So let's get into it. Before we fully get started and I show everything that I have to prep to get the motor in, I kind of wanted to go through a quick update on everything that we've got and where we're at in the build so far. So where we're at so far is I have the motor back from the builder completely. I threw a fresh coat of paint on it just to completely protect the iron block. The things that we have planned for the motor in this video is I want to install the steam port on the back of the block just because I know it will be a pain to get to once it's in the truck. The oil pressure sender and sensor also I will be installing. I will be making sure that the gap and torque specs are correct on the spark plugs, and then we are going to install the coil packs. I got 8 MSD truck coil packs along with some new hardware that will reach and make it look really nice on these Holley built-in coil pack valve covers. So we'll be installing all of that on there just to get the motor another step closer to getting in the truck. From there, we have received the transfer case completely rebuilt, resealed, and good to go. The builder said I had 0 issues inside of it, so we didn't have to replace any of the internal components. Other than the input shaft, it originally had a 28 spline coming from the 700R, and I had to upgrade it to a 32 spline. So any guys doing that and want to use their NP208 with the 4L80E, I will have a eBay link down below to the input that I bought. And the transfer case is good to go, so we should have no issues with that. And then right here is the 4L80E. I got a couple sweet small upgrades for it. I got heavy duty clutches as part of the whole clutch pack for it, and then I got a shift kit inside of it, a heavy duty shift kit, just to do a little bit of internal upgrades, so it'll be good to go. Got the mount already on the back here, so that's all bolted up and good to go there. Brand new internals everywhere inside of it, and I even have the deeper pan, so it should hold 2 more quarts of ATF to help keep this thing cool while we're on our summertime adventures. Coming over from the transmission, I have the PRW flex plate, the Hughes billet torque converter for it, and then I have my coolers. I have the engine oil or transmission cooler right here, a Durali, just like what was originally on it. And then I have the original fan shroud with the 6.2 radiator with a new set of Spall fans on it that are going to be way higher output than the ones that originally came with it. So it should be able to easily keep this truck cool any time of the year. Then coming across here, I have my other cooler. I have a 1 3/4 inch radiator hose that I will be using to adapt the 6.2 radiator to the LS radiator hoses using a few aluminum couplers. I have my Speed Engineering headers, short tube headers down there to clearance everything. Here is all of the stuff that will be going onto the motor for the accessory drive and the ignition system and the fuel system and everything like that. This is a lot of goodies from ICT Billet that will be going onto the motor. There is the Trailblazer SS intake with the fuel rail and injectors. And then I picked up a Spectre cold air intake. Let me turn this sideways. Oh, guess I can't. Okay. This is the Spectre cold air intake. I will be modifying this to turn it into like an airbox kind of sort of true cold air intake setup to use with the header panel. So the hole in the header panel that goes into the engine bay will be feeding cool air into this modified box that I will be kind of building for the truck when that time comes. I bought 2 25-foot rolls of black and red ground wire and power wire, so I will be making my own power and ground connections, so we should have no connection issues with the truck when that time comes. So sorry about that long-winded kind of explanation of everything that I've bought for the truck. but I will go over everything that we will be doing in this video. I kind of already explained everything that we will be doing to the motor with the coil packs, the steam port in the rear, and the sensors and the spark plugs and everything like that. From there, we are going to be cleaning up the original battery trays and painting them, because I'm going to be using the original one on the driver's side, and then the passenger side will be part of the modification to turn that cold air intake into a full air box. And right here is the front header panel. I'm going to be cleaning this thing up with some SOS pads or Scotch-Brite pads, some degreaser, and my gas pressure washer, just to make it as nice as possible. And then whatever exposed metal, I will be painting it with this flat black or gloss black spray paint. All right, let's get this motor moved towards the center. This thing is very hard to move. I should have, oh, almost pinched my finger. I should have bought the heavier duty Harbor Freight engine mount. So that 800 pound, I should have bought the 1200 or 2000 or whatever, just so it's a little bit beefier and this thing doesn't shake on the front and scare me. First step is, we'll get you guys in here and we're going to install the ICT billet throttle body coolant bypass hose kit on the back side of the block. Now that we've moved the engine over to the center of the shipping container, it is time to put on the ICT billet throttle body coolant hose bypass kit. So this will be for the steam ports on the back of the block, just to help keep any steam pockets from forming inside of these aluminum heads, so we don't have any cooling system issues. So I'll bust this out of the package, get the right Allen wrench for this bolt, and then from there we will get to installing this. So we have everything, all the tools, everything we need to install the steam port. So the first thing I'm going to do is put some Teflon tape onto each end of the coolant crossover hose, and then from there we're going to bolt these down, and you tighten them up so it's all uniform and good to go. Then you pull it apart and you put some lubricant onto the little O-rings, and then we torque it down to 8.5 foot-pounds. So I will get to it, and you guys will see the final product. All right, so we are good to go. Looks good, should clearance everything, the intake, any of the sensors and the reluctor wheel, all of that. So we are good to go there. Next step is, let's put some block mounts for the engine mounts onto the side, or the brackets for the motor mounts on the side, excuse me. All right, next step is, let's get the motor mount brackets onto the block. I have the painted off-road design motor mount brackets that came with the Crossmember motor mount kit that is from the previous video. So I will have a link to that one down below if you have not watched that video yet. But here is the motor mount brackets. So there is 2 holes on it. The rear hole, this hole, or the back hole is the stock position. And then if you needed to push your motor forward 3/4 of an inch, you use these bolts. So you use the very front bolts to push the motor forward 3/4 of an inch, or the back bolts for the stock position. I'm going to go with the stock position because I want to have enough clearance with my accessory drive to my electric fans so nothing interferes with each other. So that's why I am going to use the stock position itself. So my plan is, I'm just going to get a couple bolts in there finger tight just to help hold it in place, and then the other 2 bolts I will blue Loctite, and then once those are blue Loctited and torqued down, then I will pull out the other ones and get those Loctited and torqued down also. All right, so these are torqued down, snug, all Loctited, so this side is good. So let's get the other side on, and then from there we will move on to the next step of the project, which will be gapping and torquing down these spark plugs, and then we'll put on the coil packs. All right, boys and girls, we are pulling spark plugs now. I pulled the first one and I checked the gap. From all my research, it says the gap should be right around 0 or 0.040 or 0.040. So that's what I'm going to double check them all. And then I'm not really going to torque spec these. All I'm going to do is put a little bit of anti-seize on the body of it, and then from there I will thread it in and just do a, I don't know, an eighth of a turn past snug or past tight, either or, just so I know they are good to go. Since it is a steel spark plug going into an aluminum head, I don't want to have any issues or damage any threads or anything. All right, I got a pretty decent amount of anti-seize on each spark plug. So I'm just going to get them in there. I did not get them on any of the ends, so we should be safe there. Shouldn't have to worry about them fouling out or anything like that. So my plan is I'm just going to get all these finger tight. So we are all good on spark plugs, gapped, anti-seize and snug and in there and good to go. So the next step is valve covers. All right, we got everything out of the packages. I did have to order the harness that goes to the terminator to each of the coils. So that is ordered. Hopefully I have it before the install of the motor. Here is the coil packs on there. Just finger tight. I'll just take a wrench and snug them like that. But yeah, that is pretty. I like how that looks. I will get the other side knocked out, and then I think I'm still waiting on the sensor for the back, the oil pressure sensor, to get delivered. So I'll throw that on later. But from there, the motor will be good, and then we could head outside and I can degrease the header panel and the battery mounts for inside the truck. So yeah, I'll get these on. We'll be good to go. The last step, put the grommet in the firewall for the Holley Terminator X, the pass-through. Checking it out, these two spots that I thought would work will not. They both conflict with the airbox. So I don't want to drill the holes, run the wire through, and then when I install the vintage air in the future, it will not work. And then I have a, huge hole in the firewall because I thought, it would work, but it wouldn't. So I did check it out. This is a stud and a nut for mounting the dash to the firewall. So to the right of that, there's nothing in this area. It's a perfect spot. There's only a little bit of insulation that I could just push out of the way when I run the wires through. And then there's no interference from the pedals or anything like that. So it's a perfect spot to put this grommet. And the hole, I don't have to drill the biggest hole. I just want to try to find a decent spot and a spot that makes it look clean and nice. And as you can see, the hole isn't huge. And luckily I have a hole saw for my drill that is pretty much the perfect size of this. So I'm just going to drill out the holes, and then if I have to, I'll get in there with a file just to make it slightly big enough so I could just pop this in there. Then I'll mark my holes for my bolts, drill those 4 holes, and then we could bolt this to the firewall, put the faceplate on it, and then in the meantime I'll stuff some rags in there just to seal up that hole until we run the Terminator X through it and start getting into the wiring portion of this motor swap. Got the header panel and battery mounts completely cleaned up. Got the coil packs bolted onto the valve cover. It looks really good. I'm extremely happy with that. Got the hole in the firewall, got it currently painted, and it is drying. So I'll give that, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 hours or overnight. Let it get really nice and dry, and then from there I will put on that grommet for the Terminator X. Other than that, got the sensor in, got everything else done, and we are good to go. Everything is on pace to get the motor in for the next video. I'm just going to buy a couple bolts and change a couple things involving the motor mounts, but we are good to go. So if you've gotten this far, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, you guys.